Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a comparison between a pair of Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s. One of these is real and one of these is fake. This is the latest fake batch, so it is the most up to date, and hopefully there'll be still some flaws, but there may not. It may be completely identical. So here are the two boxes. Do you know which one's real? Do you know which one's fake? These boxes are almost incredibly identical. It's like ridiculous. But I guess there's not much they can get wrong on a box. Apart from the Nike symbol on the top, slightly darker red on this pair here, and this pair, of course, is the retail pair. So as you can see, here is the label. You know where that's from if you're from the UK. You know what retail store that is. But we'll take a look at the actual label itself and see if you can see any differences. I will give you a close-up of this as well. So in terms of the actual label itself, they are incredibly close. Obviously, the fake one has replicated the US sticker, so it has the US price tag on the side, but other than that, they are almost completely identical in every single matter. The text is almost perfect. The only difference I would say is the slight differences in the barcode, just in sizing and positioning, but this is also incredibly close and almost impossible to tell. However, there is one difference on the sticker itself, and you'll need a black light for this. So I would recommend purchasing this if you're ever going to legit check a pair of Travis Scott's, because they are incredibly close. So on the label here, shine the torch over, I'll give you a close up. You can see there is a fake factory stamp on the outside. This doesn't occur on retail ones, obviously, so that is something to look for when you're trying to legit check. Fake factories often do their signature stamp on the sticker on the side of the box. But other than that, sizing wise, they're completely correct. The brown, actually of the Travis Scott box, which is specific to this shoe, is completely spot on. They are very, very close indeed. I would say the slight difference is the actual colour of the red, being a darker red on the retail one, comparing this to the replica one. But other than that, they're really, really close, and you would need one in hand to see the difference. So if we take the shoes out of the box, keep in mind this retail pair is used. This was given to me by my friend Brad Hobbs, so you can check out his channel. It will be linked below, so big shout out to him. His Instagram will also be here. So thank you for let me use these shoes for the comparison. So if we open up the lids of both boxes, take a look at the paper. Once again, literally no difference at all. Paper is pretty much identical, feels the same thickness, everything about it. This is obviously more crinkled because it's more used. These arrived today, so the paper's pretty fresh. It does come with two paper, white and then the pink Cactus Jack one, same as the retail one. So if we take out the shoes, the retail pair does come with spare laces. I just guess Brad left them at home, so he hasn't put them in the box. Thanks, Brad. So we'll put the box to the side and take a look at the shoes themselves. So here we have a look at both the retail pair and the fake pair here. The retail pair will have the laces completely laced throughout this video, just so you can tell the differences, because even in close hand, these are pretty confusing because they are incredibly close indeed. So I will try and break down some of the flaws, but let's just check out some B-roll first. So we will take a look at the right shoe first. In terms of leather quality on the toe, it's not too bad, to be fair. The fake is slightly stiffer than the retail one. The retail leather on the toe is very, very soft indeed, and as you can see just by pressing on it, it does have a texture to it. Probably the biggest difference on the Travis Scott ones is actually the suede quality. So on the retail pair that I have here in hand, you can see the suede is incredibly soft and quite long, whereas on the fake one, the suede just doesn't feel the same. It isn't as soft. Also, you can clearly see that it's not as long. and the suede movement doesn't occur when you rub your finger over it. In hand, this is a clear floor right here. The suede quality is very, very different. It does feel as if the suede on the fake one is a lot shorter than that on the retail one. If we turn it round to the heel, the Cactus Jack stamp on the heel, you can see that it's actually way more defined on the fake pair than it is on the retail one. I know this does vary between pairs, and to be fair, the fake one's actually done a better job than the retail one. On the retail one, it's very inconsistent, and as you can see, it isn't very deeply stamped on the retail pair compared to that on the fake one. If we take a look at the side panel here, just above the swoosh, you can see how tumbled that leather is, how good quality that is. And I'll give you a close-up of that as well. And if you compare that to that of the fake, you can see that just doesn't occur on the fake pair at all. It is quite tumbled, but it just doesn't have the same look and appearance as the tumbled leather on the retail pair. Again, with use, it should crease a bit more. However, just straight from dead stock, it does have a clear difference right there. In terms of the Cactus Jack print going on the inner side here, I know this might be quite hard to see, so I will give you a close-up as well. The fake pair has got this spot on. There is no difference at all in the placement of the Cactus Jack symbol. They've completely replicated that perfectly. There is no difference at all. In terms of the perforation holes on the toe, they are slightly larger on the fake pair compared to the retail one, but this also will change with wear because it will crease a lot more. But that is something to note. As you can see from the very tip of the toe, the holes are a bit larger on the fake pair compared to the retail one. If we look at the Nike Air label on the tongue here, if we compare that retail to replica of the retail one is slightly tighter, just looks shorter when you're looking straight at the tongue, whereas on the fake one you can see it is much looser and more space around the tongue to move. At first, a lot of fakes used to get this wrong. So here, this black panel here, going above the creamyish leather, there is a brown stitching that goes right on the inner side. Replicas have now got this spot on. As you can see from the close-up, you can see there is a brown stitching going all the way around, which they have perfected as well. From the looks of things, they have also perfected the positioning of the swoosh. There's little to no difference at all between the swooshes, where it crosses past the stitching, and also towards the lace hole at the toe. There is little to no difference at all. On the inner side, there are slight differences in the shape of the swoosh, but this also varies between pairs and sizes because they were so inconsistent with the retail drop. In terms of the sole, there is no difference here at all. Replicas have been perfecting the sole for many years and they have got it spot on. The colours are pretty much identical. This one obviously is used, so the tread has worn off a bit, whereas this one is dead stock, so the tread looks slightly darker. If I open up the pouch on the side, you can see the inner material here of the real one. It's a very soft, smooth material on the inner side. If you compare this to the replica, the material is slightly wrong. It's much more shiny and not soft on the replica compared to the retail one. This is a clear difference here. You can feel the difference between the materials. They are not the same between a real and a fake pair. That is one flaw that they have failed to get it wrong. It's much more cushioned and soft on the real one, whereas it's a more kind of a velvet feel on the fake one. But every other detail on the inside, including the stitching, is correct. There is no point, however, comparing these two labels, as this has the UK label on the inside, whereas this has the US based one with the QR code and everything like that. So they are different labels, so that is something to note as well. If you're comparing one that was sold in Europe, comparing that to the one that was sold or targeted towards the US market. On the tongue here, where this Cactus Jack symbol is, there is no difference in thickness from the rest of the tongue, comparing that to the Cactus Jack print on the corner, whereas on the replica, the tongue cushioning on the fake one is much thicker than that of the retail one. As you can see from this comparison, replicas are getting scary good at replicating the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scotts. They still don't seem to be able to get the suede correct. So there are still slight differences here, specifically in colour and length of the suede. It just doesn't feel the same. The leather quality is still not quite up to par, but I'm guaranteed they will get there pretty soon. But everything else is really close. And from afar, would you really be able to tell the difference? Because I probably wouldn't unless I had both in hand right here. I know on most retail Travis Scotts there are a lot of inconsistencies, so some of the things I mentioned may happen on retail pairs, so do take that into consideration. But this is just trying to spot the differences between the retail pair and fake pair I have in hand, and just to try and give you a bit of a heads up if you're trying to buy a retail pair. The biggest things to look for are the suede, the positioning of the swoosh. Although they've perfected it on this pair, they haven't perfected it on all, so do take that into consideration. Please do try and buy a black light torch or something like that, because they do often have markings specifically on the label of the box, so look for that. But yeah, it is getting very scarily close. I will do a test for this on Instagram, and I don't know if you'll get it right because I will try and wear these just to make the test a bit harder. I will also fully lace them in the black just to match them up so you can see a difference. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was a little bit educational. This pair is probably the hardest pair to legit check out of every single shoe that's ever released. So please be careful when trying to buy an authentic pair, and please stay safe during this virus, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.